Everything that you gave us. Everything.
So I made a post yesterday on YouTube asking people how they felt about the sentencing that was handed down to Tory Lanez. And I didn't get many response. I only got one response, or that I've seen anyway. And that person said, well, yeah, he deserved it. And I went through social media and I was reading the different comments and what people thought about it. And just to kind of gauge, right, where everyone is and how everybody's, I guess, mental or mind space is about this whole ordeal. You know, Tory Lanez got 10 years, right, at the hands of a woman who he, at one point, was blowing her back out. And that same woman who openly lied on live television in front of the world.
What was the nature of your relationship with Tory Lanez? Because he has led people to believe that it was a sexual relationship, that it was that you two were dating. What was the nature?
We were not dating. We were really close. We were friends. We hung out like every day. And his mom passed too. So when I felt like we were bonding over that. And
did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan? Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect.
Told the world she wasn't getting her guts twisted by this man. Went on air and did her best impression of Jussie Smollett, right? And she tried to force some weak-ass tears out in front of the camera so the world could take pity on her. She then went and advocated for that same man to have his life taken away by a corrupt and immoral system. And it worked, right? It worked. I wasn't going to originally touch this story because there are so many different components to this case, and it's been talked about to death, but we're going to talk about it anyway because the life lesson still needs to be taught, I feel, right? There's a life lesson here to learn. We do not get a second chance at this. We say that again. We do not get a second chance at this, right? There are no redos, no respawns, no continues. You cannot save your game and come back later to finish it. You cannot reload into a different life. You do not have the option to restart and make different choices and decisions on a second playthrough. When it's game over and your life fades, it is game over. Forever. Your time here is done. Finito. Finished. This is the same thing I told my 17-year-old son, right? To drive home the point that you only have now to make the decisions that will structure your future and determine the type of life you can live, but longevity is not promised. Which is why it's so very important to manage your life responsibly. I think we take for granted all too often all of the different opportunities, right? All of the opportunities to make the right decision in a bad situation. The way I live my life these days is that I choose to live a life that revolves around preventative measures. I live my life in a way to where there is no one around me, especially in my personal space, that I have to worry about putting me in a bad situation. Do you know how much peace that brings? Do you know how many tragedies and happenstance moments I avoid on a daily basis by surrounding myself with the people that want the best for me and I want the best for them in turn? Do you know how many dangerous and life-threatening situations I've been able to avoid, all because of the choices that I've made while growing up as a black boy in the projects of Detroit, and one of the most dangerous cities in the United States with a history and propensity for violence, death, and fuck shit? From birth, I was a living, breathing statistic, and so are many of you. Do you all know or even really consider all of the things that we have to worry about outside of social human nature? Diseases, sickness, health complications, all of the things that are a luck of the draw that can come in at any moment and delete our entire plan for the next 10 to 20 years, like cancer and dementia. This life is hard, man. It's hard. And that's aside from the state of the economy and how much it costs just to provide for yourself and a family. I'm not even talking about the difficulty of maintaining your sanity and human nature and the amount of resolve it takes to not turn into a fucking savage and an animal from what you see out here. How hard it is to resist the rage you feel sometimes when you wake up and you look outside and on social media and all you see is people being unkind, unteachable, unmotivated, selfish, disconnected, and dead inside. And everybody is living in their fucking echo chambers and dying a little bit more every single day. And everybody claims that they want better, but no one wants to address the accountability that needs to be accepted in order to achieve better. And before you get to any of that shit, you got to worry about if you'll even be able to live a full, long, and healthy life. It's before you even get to the fuck shit of just living a normal life. That's why every decision from the time your feet touch earth on a daily basis is important. You do not have the time you think you do to get your shit together. You don't have the time you think you do to go a different route and make better decisions that will impact the rest of your life. I think that what happened to Tory Lanez is an unfortunate product of bad decisions and the need to make an example out of another black man, honestly. That's what I think. You look at Meg, she's a megastar, right? We all know that. She's a megastar. She no doubt has better legal representation. She no doubt has a better public persona. She's been involved with Marvel, huge makeup brand deals, fashion, TV appearances, everything, right? She's been in the public eye for quite some time now. And she's blown up. Megastar status. Sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know, right? And Meg's team, no doubt, has all of the right people in her corner. She got all the right people in her back pocket. But for me, this all comes back to making right decisions. And I think that if the right decision would have been made, then there wouldn't have been a gun there in Tory's possession in the first place. That's what you hire security for. You let them handle the work when there's work to be done. Right? No way do you accomplish what Tory Lanez has accomplished as an established artist and multimillionaire and you not act as such. Act like you're worth millions of dollars and leave all this dumb shit to the people that still live by barbaric and savage ass rules. Leave that shit to the street niggas. You supposed to be done with that. I don't know if Tory Lanez shot Meg or not, but I damn sure don't believe her fucking version of whatever happened that night. I'll tell you that. She told the judge she hasn't had 1 day of rest since Tory shot her in the foot. This is Meg Thee Stallion, 2 years later, twerking on national television on a Marvel show. This is Meg again at a show in 2023. Meg looks like she's getting plenty of rest to me. Oh, but you don't know the trauma that she's experienced. That's just the outside. You don't know what she's going through mentally. Please shut the fuck up with this dumb shit. Please, Meg is fine. Like I said, I do not know if Tory Lanez shot that woman or not, but I do know with 1,000% certainty is that if Tory Lanez could have that night back and make better preventative decisions, that he absolutely would. Tory Lanez is just one of many men that wish they could rewind the hands of time and hit restart. But life is not a video game.